Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Papal States. In previous episode we managed to get the interventionism, which means that we are able to do a lot more construction and still make a whole lot more money. We also got the better taxation law, which meant even more money. We did actually reduce the taxes from all the way to very high, incrementally down to low taxes, what we have now. We're also currently spending a bit of money on Tuscany to get an obligation from them maybe, and that way we can hopefully force them to join into our market. I mean, they're not quite there yet. It's -6 still, but if we can get an obligation on them, then we can definitely force them into our market. Ooh, what's this then? Cross-border investment. You know what? Excellent investment, because that's going to improve our relations with two Sicilies, which might mean to... Oh. Okay, I can not quite get them into ours, but I can propose a trade agreement. They would take it. And then there's a good chance that later on we can invite them into our market. I could, technically speaking, join theirs. And that might actually force them, or trigger them to join into us. And then we could form Italy, maybe. But we're not going to do that quite yet. That does remind me. Okay, we're not quite a major power yet. We're definitely getting towards it. We're getting a bit of government administration because we've got a bit of tax, or lack of bureaucracy right now. Partially because of the trade routes and all that. But I'm sure that that will get better. Oh, where's this one? No, this is in Italy. Hold on a minute. Oh, I think we got that from one of the other... Oh, yeah, we got a fleet there. Okay, I can probably transfer these fleets to the... Oh, actually, no. Just do it the other way around, don't we? So we got the 10 ships from here. We'll switch these. Well, there we go. Now I've got 12 frigates fleets. It's not a huge fleet, mind you, but... Oh, what's this then? France is having a war. I guess they're fighting against Britain? Yeah, they're fighting against Britain. There's Constantine and France versus Britain. Guessing this is about conquer Constantine. Oh, yeah. Ah. Alright, so pretty are going to be taking that one. Well, we've got a pretty good innovation now. We still can increase that quite a bit further, mind you. Let's actually go ahead and get a university in Sardinia. And there we go. That's another building down. We've got quite a bit of coal mines being built soon enough. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the construction section be built first, just to get the extra 5 construction speed. Although it's only 2.5 for us and 2.5 for the private sector, but regardless, that's going to start increasing the economy quite drastically. And we've still got a -6 on getting Tuscany to join in, because we've still got the obligation with them. But if we can get an obligation from them, which we're working on... Oh, South China interest deactivated. Okay, so we got less fleet. Well, I suppose it may be partially because less fleet. Or no, oh, I see what's happening. Because we removed the fleet, so for a brief moment, it thought that we didn't have enough, but then it recalculated to like the next week or so, or next day probably. And it realized that we do have it already, but it started removing the interest already at that point. So fractional distillation is going to be done very shortly. That's actually going to start requiring a bit more... That requires more glass, doesn't it? Which does mean the glass works are going to be even more profitable. Right now, they're not hugely profitable. We need a lot more lead, actually. Get a lead mine over there. We could probably get a lead mine in here as well. Oh, and France is having another revolution. Peasant revolt this time around. There's the fractional distillation. So, let's go ahead and switch the food industries to use the pattern still. So, it does more glass, but we... Oh, and we do reduce the grocery production a little bit, but that's going to be a whole lot more liquor. And the fact that that's going to increase the glass price means that the glass works are going to be more profitable. Although the input price is a bit high still. Mostly due to the price of lead. So actually, that's one of the things that we could maybe prioritize a little bit. We'll get the ports done first. Then we'll get the lead mine. Infrastructure is always very handy. Oh, baking powder is spreading. Alright then, I mean... basically, we're getting everything else but the railways. I think after that, we're going to focus on the railways. And then we'll go ahead and start doing the other checks again. Little by little. So the port is done soon in Emilia. How's the infrastructure levels otherwise? So Umbria's got a small problem. Emilia's got a small problem. Piedmont's got a small problem. We've got quite a high price of glass. So actually, I do wonder, would there be any good trade routes to import glass from? A little bit from France. We could import some from Benin, actually. I mean, we got the trade agreement with them already, so that's not going to cost us any bureaucracy. We could also buy, as well, with the Dutch we'd have to pay bureaucracy. We could buy from the Sicilian market as well. There we go. That's going to give us a bit more glass. Well, until we ramp up our own production. We've got 1 million loyalists out of... so that's more than 10% of the population are loyalists. And that's actually pretty good. We've got 11.3 standard of living. Of course, that's going to drop eventually once the boost from the tax... Actually, speaking of which, we could probably change some more laws in the meanwhile. So I keep the religious schools and charity hospitals probably throughout the entire game. We're not going to switch away from theocracy. Distribution of power will probably stay on oligarchy. We might switch that around at some points. We could go for free trade. Rule folk wouldn't really appreciate that. I don't know if we actually need to do that right now. Poor laws, we could go back to no social security, but I don't really want to do that. We got the appointed bureaucrats, which I don't really want to change away from. So honestly, right now it's not too bad. We could maybe go for laissez-faire, which would be an interesting mix with both the religious and laissez-faire. I think the interventionists would fit best within the sort of theme in here, though. But we've got really good legitimacy of the government, so that's really nice. And now we've got the interventionism, we've got the better tax laws, so well, slightly better tax laws anyway. That's already a really good boost for our economy. Speaking of which, we haven't gotten the... no, we don't have the obligation yet, and now it's -8 over there. I suppose their GDP is growing. Partially because we are giving them money, I suppose. How much are we paying? I guess that's 3.3 thousand? Yeah, bankrolling. So that boost is improving their economy. But I suppose what it does mean that once we do incorporate this into our nation, it'll be in a much better shape already. So that's not bad. Ooh, homesteading. Would that radicalize anyone? It kind of would radicalize the landowners. So we probably want to get to the commercialized agriculture first. Or just go for that one in general. But we haven't invented mutual funds yet to do so. And that's down there in the tier 3s. We've still got quite a bit of society tax to do as well. But we might focus down a few of those soon enough. How's the relations with San Marco? We've got fairly decent relations with them. We could maybe even form a defensive pact with them. Although actually right now, you know what? Sure. We'll give them an obligation. But that way we can have a... Basically we've got defensive pact with all the Italian nations now. Tuscany, Two Sicilies and San Marco. Technically, we go alliance with Tuscany, so that's a slightly different, but it has the same effect, essentially. So, no one will probably attack us. We've got already a bit of a league over the Italian nations now, then, going on in here. A loose league, mind you, but a league nonetheless. I don't suppose there's anyone that I could invite to customs. Benin would maybe join. If we give an obligation to them. Tuscany... I can't offer the obligation, but Benin did join in. There we go, they're going to be part of the market now. I'm guessing, what do they have in there? In terms of buildings? They could have coal mines, they got some tooling workshops. They got some glass works, which is quite handy. Some textile mills, furniture, food, artillery. Then of course logging, a lot of grain, fruits, tobacco, some cotton, livestock, dyes, coffee, and even sugar. And they got a bit of military in there. What's their military type, actually? It's still irregulars, okay. They do have some hussars, but that's about it. Alright then, oh wow. France is having a revolution after revolution there. Well, at least it keeps them busy. And all far back. So I'm okay with that. So glass price is still pretty high. Lead price is pretty high. Tobacco price is somewhat high. So I guess there's quite a bit of... oh, there's quite a bit of consumption for it there. Alright then. So still haven't quite solved the budget deficit, but again, once the diplomatic pact is over, and I guess we might have to increase our taxation. You know, we'll go for taxation, or medium taxation. It might reduce the legitimacy a little bit and all that, but it's not the end of the world. There's ammunition prices on the rise. I suppose that might just mean that the ammunition plant that we have in here is able to hire some people again. Which that's fine, I'll go for the lead prices a bit higher, but we are working on that one now. We're building the lead mine. Actually, is the lead mine over here, does it have the bonuses? So we could put in the nice glitter in there, but that's a bit risky, mind you. So we'll probably not do that yet. We're getting another silk plantation in our capital, and another sulfur mine in Romania. So that's not too bad in the end, I suppose. Almost 60 million GDP. Dynamics improving relations. Do we still have the trade with Qing? We do. Yeah, we're still exporting some food there. The Danish... hardwood export isn't really worth it anymore, so we'll stop that one. Now we're making still £9,000 per week. Still got about 650,000 to pay back, though, but I'm sure that that will get sorted out soon. We'll get another food industry. Why is the private sector building? So sulfur mine, banana plantation, furniture, more banana plantations. Alright then, so I guess we'll have a lot of fruits. Actually, is there... If we do have a look at fruits, we've got a decent bit of extra. Who could we sell that, maybe? We could sell to the Sicilian market. Or Venetian market. We'll sell to the Sicilians first. Finest fruits from the Papal plantations in Africa. Oh, wow. 2 Sicilies. Oh, I can't offer the obligation there yet. Okay. And Tuscany, I guess I can't do that yet either. That's a -7 right now without the obligation. But if we can get the obligation from them... I mean, how... Hold on a bit. So the... I don't remember exactly how much... we've got a small chance of getting the obligation there. Each week, there's a 0.2 chance to generate or absolve an obligation for the bankrolling country. Right, so we can also get rid of their... or our obligation on them. Ooh, rifling close. Alright then. So some of the journal entries we haven't been paying too much attention, I'll be honest. The French are having a lot of revolutions there, so at least it keeps them somewhat busy. And that's not really colonizing. Well, they probably will be colonizing a decent bit, but it will, technically speaking, slow them down, regardless. One of the things that I might do is I might just go ahead and get a little bit of troops for the African army. Nothing massive, but just, you know, get a few infantry or something. That'll be 5 battalions there. And there we go, we got already modern sewerage. Well, okay, it will be done very shortly. We're already 33 years into the game. Actually, about 34 years now. So the modern sewerage unlocked. So we get some more... Or we can build faster. The buildings, more land trade capacity, which is quite handy. Less pollution effects, infrastructure per 100,000 population. And more max infrastructure for population. And we can have more construction sectors. There we go. I wonder what's going to be spreading next in there. We're going to be focusing, after the iron glass, we'll be focusing on production for a little while. But after that, we'll definitely want to go back to the... Oh, psychiatry. That's actually not a bad one. And then maybe help a little bit with the military as well. We're focusing a lot on diplomacy right now. So we do still have obligation towards 2 Sicilies, so we can't invite them in, or offer an obligation to invite them in. And we can't really afford bankrolling them. I mean, we probably could, but I don't know if we want to. We've still got plenty of loyalists, so that's good. These GDP, while it is growing, it has kind of stalled a little bit. How's the iron situation right now? And tools, okay, tools shortage is a bit of a thing. Steel shortage is definitely a thing. We are building another steel industry or steel mill now. But that, well, it's just about started in construction, but soon enough it'll start getting a lot more speed once the food industry in our capital is completed. And that will provide a lot more stuff in here. Of course, that does mean that the glassworks are going to need a bit more production as well. So how long... 2 more weeks and we'll get the food industry. I suppose since it increased the speed that we build per building, so now it would be like in about 20 weeks we can build one of the food industries, for example. Steel mill is going to take 40 weeks at max speed. Although, well, actually, it's not quite as much. Oh, right, so it does result in more because we got the construction efficiency in there. Okay, that's good. Oh, and the rule folk are no longer influential. Okay, that's possibly bad. We can encourage Italian nationalism a bit further. I don't suppose there's going to be anyone really willing to join in yet. They don't want to join in yet, and I'm guessing Sicilians don't really want to join in yet either. Not yet. With the obligation, they would. Marco would not. I mean, I could maybe make the trade agreement with them, which would probably reduce the money a little bit, but I suppose it would also maybe... Actually, no, I'm not going to offer the obligation there. Only -6 without obligation anyway. So if we start trading a little bit further in with them, what do they need, actually? They could use a whole lot more wood. If we start exporting some from our markets, we could always increase the production on our market as well. So it's not too bad. We've got the tools for it. So that's at least one way for us to make sure that they are more likely. Oh yeah, now it's only -2. What else do they need? They've got a lot of luxury clothing. They could use a bit more fabric. They could use a bit more grain. And fish and a few other things. What do they have a lot? Oh, right. Actually, I may have looked at a bit wrong then. Or maybe they just increase... Oh. Sure. Obligation to San Marco removed. There we go. They're not willing to join into the customs union yet, but that is another area over there that might join in soon enough. So slowly but surely, we're making a headway in here. And eventually, one of these will join. Of course, once we have one of them join, that is going to increase our GDP quite a bit. And then, of course, we get a lot closer. So if we get, let's see, Sicily's going to be 5, so that's going to get us to 11 already. So we could form Italy at that point. What we might do, though, is just wait all of these to join in first, and then we'll form Italy. Just so that we have all of it guaranteed. Not too far from prestige-wise to become a major power either. Well, we need another 40 or so. So not quite there yet. Of course, the GDP is now 16 million. Literary rate is already 46% almost, so that's a pretty decent increase there. Of course, we do have censorship, don't we? We do, and we can't really change away from that. We could maybe try to get to the right assembly at some point, but since right now no one's in government that would support it, it's not really an option. Homesteading is still being supported, but that would radicalize the landowners, and they are still, well, they're not powerful, but they are still, actually, I can kick the landowners already out of the government. And then if I try to pass for the homesteading, it would maybe mean that they, I mean, it's going to cause some bad things happening, most likely. We might be able to pass the law. Maybe. There's quite a risk with the debate and all that in there. It's not guaranteed. We'll give it a try, at least. Oh, the obligations that we had on France has expired. Okay. We won't actually get the own obligations thing anytime soon. Later on, we'll probably start just, you know, getting it one way or the other with some other nations. Oh, revolution. Very high. Now, technically speaking, it shouldn't trigger quite yet. At least in theory. They got fairly high radicalism, though. They want to preserve the tenant farmers. If need be, we can just stop this law then. Oh, there we go. Building a whole lot more coal mines, which will, of course, reduce or allow us to use a lot more automation. So, Emilia definitely needs a bit of a reduction. Actually, we got coal price is a bit high. Don't really want to do too much about that one. Radicalism in the tenant farmers, or preferred tenant farmers movement, is actually reducing a little bit. I suspect that we can probably keep this mostly in check. Again, at least we got the way out of just stopping that law if things go really ugly. So we've got the coal mines in the university, another lead mine class works. Oh, what's this then? Erisat's food. Struggling people in Romania have been desperately trying to get their hands on any food they can. Dire warnings of a turnip winter have been spreading throughout the region. At least food substitutes fill people's stomachs. Try to increase local food production by any means. Or we cannot do it. No, we'll try to improve it by any means. The agriculture tax income for Romania goes down, but the agriculture and plantation throughputs go up. Do they actually have a shortage of food then? Not really, but it's an event, I suppose. Oh, right. No, we've got a little bit extra room in the infrastructure, although we still got the road maintenance, which, how much is that going to give us? Oh, better balance. There we go. That's a mission done. Wait, incorporate state. Do we have a state that hasn't been incorporated? Hold on a minute. Oh no, it's just Niger Delta. Okay. Well, is it underway? A foreign manifesto. The recent adventure work of Shukri al-Nuaimi have become popular within the movement to end homesteading. Religion has developed to a point of Shukri openly endorsing the movement. So we get more support for homesteading. Sure. And family always comes first. A cold clash over homesteading erupt between a few families. The early bird homesteaders each claim the same land in Umbria. The dispute has called the legislation into question. Were the writs and organized reparations? That was going to cost us a little bit. For 11 months. And that time is going to be dragged on. Or, okay, divide the land between all three. That would make the landowners even more upset. Or find the earliest signee and grant them the land. No, we'll just want the writs and organize reparations. There we go. So we can at least get that one somewhat sorted. We got the money to spare right now. And I don't suppose Tuscany is... no, they're not willing to join in yet. Nor is two Sicily. So is that because we got... we don't have enough influence right now? That might be a bit of a problem then. You know what, Denmark, I'm gonna have to end the trade agreement. I'm sorry, but we need to influence to be able to then maybe bring in people into our customs. Of course, no one's willing to join in yet. Vultures upon a carcass. Opposition members of our forces have defected to the civic national or civic nobility's cause. We could try to coax them back, but that would cost us a lot of bureaucracy. Well, 5% more bureaucracy, which is, I think that's actually manageable. Well, okay, it will cause us a bit of deficit, but it's fine. So we'll try to coax them back to not increase the civic nobility's influence too much. The revolution isn't, well, it is still growing, but hopefully we can keep it mostly in check until the homesteading has passed. The ironclads will be researched soon. Now, we won't build ironclads quite yet. We don't have the resource. Well, I mean, we do have the resource for it. We just don't have the production for it yet. Namely, we don't produce the steamers quite yet. Although, actually, that requires ironclads, so... We do have a military shipyard somewhere, right? Yeah, we do. The steel hulls, we do... Actually, we could produce the steel hulls once we get the tech for it, which is ironclad. Okay. Well, fair enough. We can switch the military ship build or shipyards to build those already, and we can start switching our fleets to that. Although the frigates, I think we may need to remove those and build new ships instead. Although monitors aren't active or available. Oh, right, monitors aren't available yet. We need to research that separately. Ooh, well, there's the ironclad. New journal entry: stop the revolution. Member list discovered. A surprise police raid has uncovered a list of radicals associated with the civic nobility. There are several ways this list can be used to the government's advantage. And down every member on that list, so that's -10 on the revolution. Probably expose the connections between the civic nobility and the radicals. That would be -25% intergroup political strength. Or there's only one name on the list that we need, Bernardo Naitana. I'm going to just reduce their interest group attraction to make them less powerful, and that does reduce the revolt, or risk of the revolt actually happening, so that's kind of handy. We're getting slowly a bit more coal mines. I think what we might want to do is just get the... Actually, well, there's plenty of taxation capacity now. Farmers Grove Champions Homesteading. We can either plus 10% chance, or rural folk gets more attraction and some more loyalists in Romania from peasants, laborers, and shopkeepers. We'll just get to 10%. So now we've got 36% chance of passing it. So if we do have a look about the neighbors, so we probably still won't be able to invite Tuscany or Two Sicilies, because we've got... Yeah, Two Sicilies would only accept it with the obligation, and we don't really want to do that one yet. But we're working on improving relations with all of them, especially if we can get the obligation with Tuscany. That'll be one, and that will increase our GDP a decent bit, which might be enough to then make Two Sicilies more likely to accept, as well as San Marco, so that way we can get all three of them incorporated. Hopefully during this decade, because if we go any further than that, we are not going to have enough time to really utilize all of that, I reckon. Rebels Doctor. Dr. Emilia has been caught aiding wounded dissidents and revolutionaries. His aid isn't just helping his patients, but is emboldening the entire rebel movement. I don't want to radicalize the academics too much, but we'll still reduce the revolution a little bit further. It's currently at 31% though, so it's still going upwards, or trending upwards, but again, if we can get some progress on the homesteading, we can probably fix this. Or, you know, if the civic nobility, or, civic nobility, if their opinion starts recovering a little bit. There's not that many radicals from them, actually. It's only 406. To be fair, the population supporting that is quite small as well. But they probably have quite a bit of influence regardless. But the baking powder is underway, so what is the military... Oh, right, it's the breech-loading artillery. Oh, shrapnel artillery is going to be very handy. So yeah, we do want to have that one. And we'll get the baking powder and railways first, and then psychiatry will probably be right behind the corner. Still a few more coal mines underway. The glass production is still something that we kind of need to increase. We've got glassworks in 3 levels, I think 3 levels, or maybe at only 1 level actually. Or is it 2 levels? Oh, heavy-handedness. Felipe Resta mistook an enemy in the intelligentsia. After accusing them with false charges, others in the intelligentsia defected to the civic nobility's cause. Who is Felipe Resta? That is... Oh, it's a general. And a politician. Ruler, general, and politician. Oh. The bedfellows may not be so accommodating. I don't want to step down as a pope. If we're kind of role-playing as the pope, then yeah, we're not going to step down that easily. So the revolution is... I think it should be reaching its max level soon enough. So it's not going to go too far. I mean, there's still going to be the events happening until either this is done or the civic nobility is no longer angry, which might take quite a while. Ooh, there we go. Law advancement. 15% more chance of passing the law. Still can't invite Tuscany, unfortunately, but with... oh, Prussia is pretty large now. They've probably managed to get a lot of nations to... Oh, unified Germany, Occitania. Oh, right, against France. Right. Oh, the capital is in Lyon. Alright then. Not exactly what I expected. Well, the baking powder is going to be done soon. Oh, and a port in Sea of Anger. Mobs have surrounded the arsenal of Arsenal in Romagna, threatening to seize the arms and munitions stored within. While the guards are staving off attacks for now, if no relief is sent, then the arsenal will fall to insurrectionists. A relief column could escalate tensions a little, but it's necessary. Or, the mob could be emboldened by a surrender, but we need to take that risk. I think we're going to take the gamble there. Oh, there we go. We did manage to reduce the risk of the revolt a little bit. Oh, 2 Sicily sides with Prussia against France. Oh. Actually, what is this one? So it's unify Alsace-Lorraine and Bremen, Hamburg, Bavaria. Oh, right, yeah, they got the... Right, and then you want to cut Prussia down size. So you got the French Senegal, Bremen, Hamburg, Bavaria, Holstein, Schleswig, Oldenburg on the French side. And then France itself, of course. But I think France and Prussia are actually pretty close in terms of troop numbers. And of course, now that 2 Sicilies is joining on the Prussian side, that might just... Well, I don't know. I suppose there's a lot of these smaller nations that will also have some troops. So it's probably roughly equal right now. But I'm going to probably stay out of that. But I'm not going to declare neutrality quite yet. Just to see what's happening in there. So did we get the... We could probably get another government administration in Piedmont. Also, we might want to get another one in our capital, just in case. Ooh, baking powder. There we go. So, let's go ahead and switch that on at the food industry. So, that's going to be a whole lot more groceries. It will take a lot more grain and sugar, of course, but as for even better jobs there and better food available, so it's all good. And that is also something that we can then export more to China if need be. At least part of it. Oh, there we go. Now the railway is spreading, finally. About time. So we can't really make civic nobility like us more right now, but I suspect that if we can reduce their strength a bit further, they will eventually just, you know, be relegated to obscurity. Infernal Machine. Attempt on the life of the Pope has killed many, but spared our ruler. A complex device, its self-damage in the attack is the only trace of a revolutionary left at the site of the attack. We can either limit the Pope's public appearances for a while, or this crime is obviously fault of the leader of the civic nobility. So there's a 1/3 chance that will reduce the revolution, or 1/3 that will increase the revolution, or we just reduce the popularity of the leader. I'm going to take that risk. Okay, we did fail in that gamble. But technically speaking, it should be heading downwards right now. Because they don't have the support to... Oh, there we go. Netherlands is improving relations. Unfortunately, we can't quite get the... I mean, Tuscany is going to be probably the closest one to... Yeah, I mean, we still got the obligation. There's 4 years left in that, to be fair. So one way or the other, we'll probably get that one sorted. I suppose what we could do is... Oh, there we go. Progress amendment. So we might actually get the homesteading soon enough. How much would it cost us to start bankrolling... No, I can't bankroll... Oh, it's 100 influence that we need for that. Right then. In that case, we won't do it. Oh, we need to have 8 incorporated states. Actually, that's something that we can probably do. As soon as we start getting some more lands in here. For the incorporated state. Oh, People's Wealth. A group of revolutionaries have carried out robbery of a papal state bank in Umbria. A significant amount of money has been stolen and redirected to the revolutionaries' coffers. Order increased security around banks across papal states. That's 2,500 pounds per week government expenses for 2 years. I suppose we don't want to increase the revolution further right now. So we can afford paying a bit of extra money. We're also on the way of increasing some more universities, so that's good. We've still got... actually, the investment pool is still pretty high. I might go ahead and get us some more construction sectors. At least one in our capital, for sure. Maybe another one in Piedmont, because that's a very large area industries-wise and resources-wise as well. So we want to go ahead and get those. I'm actually going to go ahead and put one of these up already to be built quickly, so we'll get just that a little bit extra in construction speed. We'll put both of these to the top of the list. There we go. So this way we can get the extra construction of about 10 more, which isn't too bad. But I also realized that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.